Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly begin. To avoid any inconvenience, kindly mute your microphone. All participants are also urged to rename the Zoom accordingly to your role. For presenters, please add letter R followed by your room's number and full name. For section chairs, add SC in the beginning followed by R with your room's number and your full name. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. The President, Associations of International Business and Professional Management, AIBPM, Your Excellency, Dr. Lim Kai-sing, Excellencies, Vice President of AIBPM, Mrs. Ira Christiana, Excellencies, participants, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the 2024 AIBPM International Conference held by the Associations of International Business and Professional Management, AIBPM. This event is attended by various people around the world, from Indonesia, Malaysia, Pakistan, United States of America, Japan, India, Bangladesh, Belarus, Mexico, and etc. I am Ali Hardiani. I'm honored to be the host for today's event. It is a perfect opportunity for us to interact and network with good peers and colleagues across countries. I appreciate you taking your busy schedule to join us today, Saturday, June 29, 2024. On these occasions, you have outstanding discussions with our prominent speakers, whom I believe shall enrich our insight on harmony in diversity, navigating multidimensional realities in management, education, IT, and social sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, before we officially begin our international conference, we will reverse and listen to our national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Excellency speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I present you AIBPM.
is Indri Supriyani, and I would like to recommend you to join this conference.
Hi, my name is Roland Perdana. I think this is very good opportunity to join this conference.
Hello, my name is Ferry Prastia. I am very happy to join this international seminar with AIBPM, and this is a good impression for me to enrich my knowledge.
Hello, my name is Bogirjon Sodikov. I'm from Tajikistan. We are so happy that we join such kind of conference.
Hello everyone, this is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the online ICPN conference. Despite of the physical distance that separates us, technology has enabled us to come together from different corners of the world to share knowledge, insight, and innovation. In this ICPM conference is attended by participants from many universities and many countries. In this conference, aim to provide opportunity for the global participants to share their ideas and experience with their other colleagues from other countries. In addition, this conference will help all delegates to establish their research and also relations, as well to find international linkage for the future collaboration in this career path. We have a exciting lineup of keynote speaker, panel discussion, and also interactive session that planned for you. After the next couple hours, we will delve into various topics, exchange the ideas, and also explore new possibilities in our field. I encourage you to actively participate, ask questions, engage with one another. Let's make the most of this opportunity to learn, building networks, and inspire each other. In this online ICPM conference, the outcome will lead to significant contribution to the knowledge base in this up-to-date field in scope. Therefore, on the day of the completion of this journey, we are delighted with a high level of satisfaction and inspiration. The outcome of the conference will be international proceedings, journals, and Scopus Index books. I believe is the most of paper conference will be published. I would like to say thank you for all keynote speakers, all the committee, my team, all section chair, MC, moderators for the fully support. Thank you all for your support and your dedication to make this conference happen. Again, I would like to say thank you to join us. I look forward for a productive and enriching conference. Well, welcome once again, and let's get started. Thank you. I'm Dr. Lim Kai-sin, the President of Association of International Business and Professional Management. Thank you, and welcome to the online ICPM conference.
Thank you, Dr. Lim. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we joyfully announce that the international conference has officially begun. Welcome to the 2024 AIBPM International Conference. Before starting the seminar sessions, I invite all panelists and participants to turn the camera on. We'll take group picture, and the committee will help capture it in a moment.
Okay, so for all participants, please turn on your camera. So I will take picture of us. Okay, please be ready. Okay, I will take the picture from the gallery 1 in 3, 2, 1. And then the second gallery, please turn on your camera. And 3, 2, 1. And then next, please turn on your camera. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Dr. Miss Aulia.
Thank you very much, Ms. Alisa, and also everyone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to share today's photo on your Instagram and use hashtags 2024 ICPM and info AIBPM. The best Instagram post will get free entry to our next conference. We also invite you to follow our Instagram at info AIBPM and our YouTube channel on AIBPM Talk Series. You can obtain up-to-date information about our events, publication opportunities, and the video of our conferences. The information and other important information related to the coming events and opportunity have also been shared in the chat box. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to introduce you to the keynote speakers of today's conference. We have 5 excellent speakers today. The first one will be Dr. Fatima from Visiting Faculty, Symbiosis School for Online and Digital Learning, Symbiosis International, Team University, Pune, India. Next will be Dr. Wajiha from the National University of Sciences and Technology, Pakistan, followed by Dr. Tan Lei Hong from Universiti Teknikal Malaysia, Melaka, Malaysia. And then the fourth will be Dr. Amna Jafet from Japan, Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, Japan. And the last but not the least will be Dr. Ranjit P.V. from Professor M.S. Ramaiah Institute of Management, Bengaluru, India. It is also my deep pleasure to introduce you to the moderator for today's event, Dr. Firdaus Ahmad Malik. Good morning, Dr. Firdaus.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Am
So
I
is everything well? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So shall I
Okay.
start?
Wait, please let me to introduce you first before you start it. All right, Dr. Firdaus Ahmad Malik works as an assistant professor at University of People in Pasadena, California, United States. Prior, he has served as research fellow at the National Institute of Public Finance and Policy and as senior research associate at the Jindal Center for the Global South at OP Jindal Global University, Sonipat, Haryana. Dr. Firdaus graduated with his PhD and Master Philosophy in Economics from Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow, India. Then he received his postgraduate in Economics from the University of Kashmir. Further, he has published a number of renowned publications in national and international journals of Springer, Elsevier, Taylor and Francis, and other Scopus Index journals. Apart from research articles, Dr. Firdaus holds the honors of contributing to the publications of 6 books. It includes Financial Inclusion Schemes in India, published by Springer Publications, Financial Behavior or Urban Dwellings in India, from Notion Press, Asymmetry of Information and Lending Risk Livelihood Pattern of Street Vendors in India, from Books Clinics, and health system in Jammu and Kashmir, challenges and opportunities from SHINEX. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Dr. Firdaus Ahmad Malik. Dr. Firdaus, the time is yours.
Thanks, Alia Hettan. Good morning, participant and team of AIBPM for giving such an opportunity where we across the globe are meeting today for an international cause to attend the international conference with the support of AIBPM. The theme of our conference is Harmony in Diversity, Navigating Multidimensional Realities in Management, Education, IT, and Social Science. I am Dr. Firdaus Ahmad Malik. I will be moderating today's conference. Let me announce, certain rules and regulations for the keynote speakers. Today we are going to have 20 minutes for each keynote speaker. And after finishing of all 5 presentations, we will be having question and answer session. So the question and answer session will be decided only by the moderator. So the participants, they are requested either to write down their question in chat box or they can raise their hand. So before I sit out, I would like to inform keynote speakers, as I have mentioned, we have to be focused to 20 minutes to present your slides. Then we will be following up with question and answer session, as all keynote speakers will be, finishing their presentation. Our first speaker is from India, Dr. Sana. She is currently visiting faculty, Symbiosis School of for Online and Digital Learning, Symbiosis International Deemed University, Pune, India. Dr. Sana is Assistant Professor in Economics at Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, Noida, India, New Delhi. He has published several papers which are indexed in Scopus, ABDC, A and B category. He is also columnist in a newspaper. He has served as reviewer and article editor for renowned publication houses such as Say. Or Dr. Sana, the time is yours. Dr. Sana, I invite you to share your presentation.
Sure. First of all, a very good morning to all of you. I'm going to share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So today I would like to focus on harmonizing sustainable development goals with circular economy, a pathway to a sustainable future. So first of all, understanding SDGs, which is adopted by all United Nations member states. The SDGs are designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. The SDGs provide a comprehensive framework that guides international efforts towards sustainable development. They emphasize the importance of balancing social, economic, and environmental sustainability. The SDGs goals established by UN General Assembly in 2015 as a part of 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. So these are the images of all the 17 SDGs. And as we all are aware of these sustainable development goals. So a circular economy. Yes. A circular economy as an economic system that aims to eliminate waste and the continual use of resources. It stands in contrast to the traditional linear economy, which has a take, make, dispose model of production. In a circular economy, resource use is minimized and products, materials, and components are kept in circulation for as long as possible, creating a closed loop system that reduces environmental impact and fosters sustainability. The circular economy is guided by three principles: design out waste and pollution, keep products and materials in use, and third, regenerate natural systems. For example, for principle one, innovative design and usage of sustainable materials are necessary. Products are designed to be more durable, easier to repair, and ultimately recyclable. For example, using modular design principles that allow individual components to be replaced or upgraded without discarding the entire product. Further, selecting materials that are renewable, recyclable, or biodegradable to ensure they can be cycled back into the economy or safely returned to the environment. For principle two, four practices have to be adopted. These include reuse, repair, refurbish, and remanufacture, and recycling. Products and materials are used repeatedly, extending their life cycle and reducing the need for new resources. Encouraging the repair of products rather than discarding them when they break. This includes providing access to spare parts and repair services. Refurbishing involves restoring used products to a good working condition, while manufacturing involves rebuilding products to like new one. Now, coming to the principle three of the circular economy, eco-friendly processes along with nutrient recovery need to be implemented. Now, aligning the SDGs with circular economy principles. So, the circular economy's core principles directly contribute to achieving multiple SDGs. For instance, designing out waste helps achieve SDG 12, while keeping products and materials in use supports SDG 8 and SDG 9. Circular economy practices not only address environmental sustainability, but also drive economic growth and social well-being, illustrating the interconnected nature of the SDGs. So let's discuss these alignments from the image. Promoting the use of renewable energy sources and enhancing energy efficiency in production processes can impact SDG 7, ensuring the access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Now, creating new job opportunities in recycling, repair, and remanufacturing sectors impacts SDG 8, thereby promoting sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Now, encouraging innovation in sustainable product design and production processes and developing infrastructure that supports recycling and resource recovery impacts SDG 9 and thereby building resilient infrastructure. Promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization and fostering innovation. Implementing urban planning and development strategies that promote resource efficiency and waste reduction impacts SDG 11. Making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Now, designing products for durability, reuse, and development strategies that promote resource efficiency and waste reduction impacts SDG 11. Now, recycling materials such as metals, plastics, glass reduce the need for virgin material extraction and processing, which are often carbon intensive, impacts SDG 13. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions by lowering the demand for energy intensive production processes, while helping mitigate climate change by promoting sustainable practices. regenerating natural systems by using organic waste as a compost and reducing deforestation through sustainable material sourcing impacts SDG 15. It protects, restores, and promotes sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, manages forest sustainability, combats desertification, and halts and reserves land degradation and biodiversity loss. Now, circular economy in action, a case study. So, showcasing real world examples of circular economy initiatives helps illustrate how these principles can be applied effectively to achieve SDGs. A circular, a city's circular Amsterdam initiative aims to achieve a fully circular economy by 2050. Amsterdam is a pioneer in implementing circular economy strategies at the city level. The city's circular Amsterdam initiative aims to achieve a fully circular economy by 2050. Now, construction. Use of recycled materials in our construction projects and encouraging building deconstruction over demolition. It impacts SDG 11, which promotes sustainable urban development and resilient infrastructure. Second is waste management. Comprehensive waste separation and recycling programs. It has a direct impact on SDG 12, which encourages efficient use of resources and waste reduction. Then local production. Promoting local production and consumption to reduce transportation emissions. It impacts SDG 13, which focuses on mitigating climate impact through reduced emissions and sustainable practices. Thus, the alignment of SDGs with circular economy principles offers triple benefits in the city of Amsterdam. It helps in the reduction of waste and CO2 emissions, thereby improving air quality. Further, it helps in job creation in recycling and sustainable construction sectors. Last but not the least, it offers improved quality of life for residents through cleaner, greener city environments. Now, benefits of harmonizing SDGs with circular economy. First is environmental benefits. So, circular economy practices lead to reduced waste generation, lower carbon emissions, and preservation of natural resources, contributing to SDGs such as climate action, SDG 13, and sustainable cities and communities, SDG 11. So, under this, we have reduced waste, lower carbon emissions, and resource conservation. When we discuss reduced waste, circular economic practices minimize waste generation by designing products for longevity, reuse, and recycling. And while talking about lower carbon emissions, so by promoting resource efficiency and using renewable energy sources, the circular economy helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions associated with the resource extraction, production, and waste disposal. Third is resource conservation. So keeping products and materials in use for longer periods conserves natural resources, including minerals, water, and energy. Now, moving on to economic benefits. It opens new business opportunities, cost savings, and job creation. It has social benefits as well. Circular economy initiatives enhance social equity by improving access to resources, creating jobs, and fostering resilient communities, thereby advancing SDGs on gender equality, SDG 5, reducing inequalities, SDG 10, and partnerships for the goals, SDG 17. Under this, we have improved health conditions. We'll be able to reduce inequality and sustainable communities. Now, moving on to challenges and solutions. Now, despite the potential benefits, transitioning to a circular economy faces several challenges, including economic barriers, lack of awareness, and regulatory constraints. Addressing these challenges requires collaborative efforts and innovative solutions. So, economic barriers. In this, the transition to a circular economy may face resistance due to initial investment costs and perceived risk. Businesses may hesitate to adopt circular practices if they believe it will negatively impact their profitability or competitiveness. Next is policy reforms. So governments, the solution to it, right? So governments can play a crucial role in incentivizing and facilitating the transition to a circular economy through supportive policies and regulations. This includes offering financial incentives, tax breaks, and subsidies for circular businesses, as well as implementing regulations. Now, coming to the second challenge, which is lack of awareness, many individuals, businesses, and policymakers have limited understanding of the circular economy and its potential benefits. This lack of awareness hinders widespread adoption and implementation of circular practices. Now, talking about the solution, which is education and awareness. So, increasing a public awareness and understanding of the circular economy is essential for driving behavioral change and encouraging adoption. Education campaigns, training programs, and stakeholder engagements initiatives can help raise awareness and build momentum for circular nations. Now, talking about the third challenge, which is regulatory constraints. Existing regulations and policies may not fully support circular business models or may even pose barriers to their implementation. Excuse me. So, inconsistent or outdated regulations can create uncertainties and legal obstacles for businesses seeking to adopt circular practices. Now, the plausible solution to this challenge is innovation and collaboration. Encouraging innovation and fostering collaboration among the stakeholders are essential for overcoming technical and logistical challenges associated with the circular economy. Now, moving on to call to action. So, harmonizing sustainable development goals with circular economy practices offers a pathway to sustainable and prosperous future by addressing global challenges in a holistic manner. As individuals, businesses, governments, and civil organizations, we must commit to embracing circular economy practices and integrating them into our daily operations and decision-making processes. Together, we can drive positive change and achieve the SDG by 2030. Some of the call to action we can adopt include encouragement to adopt circular practices, commitment to action, collaboration and partnership, continuous improvement. Now, due to paucity of time, I'm not discussing all the points. So, in a circular economy, waste and pollution are designed out, products and materials are kept in use, and natural systems are regenerated. It's not just an economic opportunity, it's a moral imperative. I would like to end my lecture with this note of Ellen MacArthur. Thank you so much, AIBPM, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sana, for embarking us with such a, evolving discussion, which is the need of the hour nowadays. I would like to make this, session more interactive. I would like to take some questions. If participants are having any questions, let us take few questions quickly, and we can shift to the next speaker. Participants, you are requested to raise your hand or write down quickly in the chat box. Let us make interactive this session and try to get benefit from the huge conference. So while participants will, share their questions, I will put forward my query. So what are the, challenges to sustainable development goals, especially, in considering the emerging countries? What are the challenges emerging countries are facing with respect to sustainable development goals? You can address this query. Till then, if we are having any other question, we can take that.
Dr. Firdaus, thank you for the question. When we talk about the challenges in the developing country, so it is at the manufacturing end or at the production stage. Businesses are very much reluctant towards adopting circular practices or greener practices. They think that they'll be at a disadvantage. They will not earn higher, they will not be able to make huge profits by adopting circular economy. First of all, they have to, move on to a entirely from a linear economy to a greener economy, which involves entirely replacing of the machinery, the modus operandi of their industry or their firms. So I guess this is, in my opinion, the businesses hesitate due to profit margins, because the profit margin in the new industry is always, at risk and is very less. So what is your opinion on that?
Yes, you are, perfectly right that, emerging countries, they are the stage of, development. They are, trying to move the path of this developing, status. So although they are, their technology and their capital oriented, businesses, they are under development. That is why they are, considered as an emerging country. They are not fully developed, and they are struggling, to adopt their manpower, and they are facing unemployment. They are facing environmental, issues and sustainable development issues to compete with the developed countries who are framing these policies. And there is also, as per there is also the negative trickle down effect. They are hardly to catch up. So yes, you are, perfectly right. If we are having any more questions, we can take it here. If not, then we can move to next speaker. So as of now, there is no question, there is nothing. So let us move to our next speaker. Thank you, Dr. Sana, for your, insight. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our next speaker, Dr. Wajiha from National University of Science and Technology, Pakistan. Dr. Wajiha has completed her PhD from Malaysia under Faculty Development Program of NAST. He is currently serving as Assistant Professor in Department of Economics, School of Social Sciences and Humanities, NAST. Her PhD dissertation was focused on debt and financial well-being in Pakistan. She has presented her work in several national and international in-person and virtual conferences conducted in different countries, such as United States, Turkey, Malaysia, and United Kingdom. On the various economic issues, she has been selected as academic advisor from Pakistan for Spark C, and she was invited to attend the annual meeting of it in Germany along with Mob. She has mastered in analyzing large national representative data sets such as PSLM, MIX, and DHS. However, she has expertise in questionnaire development, primary data collection, and data validation as well. He is also leading a funded project to investigate the poverty of working class groups. She has taught and supervised money dissertations at both at undergraduate level, graduate level. She has taught a wide range of courses related to economics, finance in her teaching career, including research methodology, applied econometrics, poverty and income distribution, environmental economics, seminar in applied economics, public finance, financial economics, and monetary economics. For Dr. Wajah, the time is yours.
Thank you so much for such a generous introduction. Let me share my screen. Okay. Is it? Can
Yes,
you
it
see
is.
my screen?
Yes, it is visible. Please go
Okay.
ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I would like to discuss about the financial well-being. So the topic of my presentation is understanding financial well-being uh, of individuals across different levels of income in Pakistan. Okay. So in today's world, with rapidly growing global economy, financial innovation, and technological advancement, individual can get trapped into an inappropriate economic situation without responsible financial behavior. And individuals are usually concerned with financial health and well-being and try to improve their financial lives. Whereas governments are concerned to improve the growth of the economy, but at the same time, they want their individuals to be happy. So if any country is poor or developing or underdeveloped, then it does not necessarily mean that people have lower well-being. We have seen happiness index shows that people of those countries who have higher GDP are at lower happiness index. So basically, human well-being is a broad concept whose measurement encompasses that how well people meet their emotional, environmental, spiritual, social, physical, and economic needs. It also includes individuals' own judgment of their own life and their society. So earlier, the concept of well-being or prosperity was taken narrowly based on income and economic measures. However, Easterlin found that although rich people are generally happier than poor people, but rich countries are not necessarily happier than those in poor countries. So this implied that higher income may not necessarily bring happiness and well-being to the country. Others also have noted that despite the fact poverty and ill well-being go hand in hand, there's a weak relationship between wealth and well-being. So people in poor countries might be financially satisfied and happy with their financial situation, and there's a need to investigate well-being at different levels of income within the same country. So that was the motivation of this study. Financial well-being is individual satisfaction. So we would like to understand what is it all about. It's not only the financial satisfaction, but rather it includes both objective and subjective measures. Let me give you an example. If I have certain money, and if I get a higher money, I'll be happy. But sometimes I will be not surprised by that because the relative increase in that income might be different. So if I belong to Pakistan, we use currency denomination as rupee. So if I was getting 1 lakh rupees and my income increases by 50 rupees, although my income increased, but I might not be very happy because the relative increase is not much higher. But if, for example, if a person does not have any income but start getting 50 rupees, he will be much happier than me because the relative increase was much higher. So objective measures and subjective measures both are very important uh, to measure the financial well-being. Objective measures of financial well-being include income, consumption, debt, savings, knowledge of financial products, and financial planning. Whereas subjective measures of financial well-being include overall satisfaction with one's financial situation, as it was also that well-being is an overall satisfaction on all aspects of life. There are many databases available for different countries, but particularly in Pakistan, it lacks a comprehensive micro database for measuring financial well-being, due to which there are lack of studies exploring financial well-being of households in Pakistan in depth. But this study focuses, tries to measure the financial well-being both through objective and subjective measure. How it was possible, I'll tell you later in my methodology. Coming towards the literature review, Quinn said that there is no complete consensus on a single accurate measure of financial well-being. And after that, many attempts have been made to measure financial and economic well-being till date. Income is the most commonly used indicator of financial well-being, and it indicates that ability of individuals to fulfill their basic needs. And based on that, we have seen that growth was taken as a measure of well-being and happiness. When we have seen economic well-being index, we saw that Pakistan is at 136th position according to 2023 Legatum Prosperity Index. However, when we see this relative position according to growth, it's different. So this paper is aiming towards an original analysis to extend the literature on financial well-being by investigating the effects of factors on it differing by level of income. The time-weighted financial well-being is also very important. So when I am talking about the financial satisfaction, I might be affected by overall period of time. So let's say I'll be seeing that whether my income increase is higher than the previous year. So time period is also very important, and I will also be seeing whether my peers also get an income increase or not. So if they got a higher income increase, my financial well-being will be lower. So time-weighted financial well-being can give an important insights about financial well-being, and due to which we chose the particular question that I have used in my study that I'll discussing later. Overall financial well-being is usually measured by asking overall satisfaction. But what is the problem in that? Kahneman has made a distinction between feeling overall period of time and more evaluative judgment of overall satisfaction. He says that people are apparently unable to produce an accurate and unbiased evaluation of experiences that extend over time. So if you will say, you will ask me, am I financially satisfied? I might give very generic statement, but if you will ask me, are you financially satisfied today as compared to the previous year? So I will be very specific. So sometimes people's financial satisfaction is also affected by the recent events. So that's why we need to be very specific. The judgment of overall satisfaction or well-being is usually manipulated by the recent events and moods, and the same judgment is also affected by the comparison with the others and the past experience that I have discussed earlier. So yes, we will see the financial well-being. We will basically construct the financial well-being keeping all these criticism and the literature, and we will see the effect of different factors on this financial well-being by different levels of income. So PSLM is the Pakistan Social Living Standard Measurement Survey. So it's basically ask people, how do you feel about your economic situation? So economic situation as compared to the previous year. So they also take account of the time, and also they ask about the financial satisfaction. But they do not ask for any further question than this. That's why I said that is a data limitation. But what I did is, according to literature and my opinion, only financial satisfaction is not important. So just saying that I am happy with my financial situation is not enough, but rather sometimes I might be earning much higher than the other people. So my income is also very important. So if I'm saying I'm not financially satisfied just because my peers get higher salary raise, or my previous or my previously I got higher pay increase, it's not enough. So we also need to adjust it according to according to my income. So in this PSLM data source, we have used a round of 2014-15. Sample size consists of 13,536. Why this is small? Because very few people, not very few, although this number is very high, but according to the whole survey, this number is less because very few people respond to these questions. My dependent variable is financial well-being. Independent variables are age, education, financial status, employment, income, household size, region, and debt. We also tested interactions, and as my financial satisfaction was an ordinal variable, so we used ordinal logistic regression. We used income to categorize households who have responded the question of well-being. So categories of dependent variable, now let me explain how did I construct my financial well-being. So we actually divided people into 5 categories according to their income. So we made income quantile, and then we matched with their financial satisfaction. So poor households saying that they have worse economic situation, we made this as the lowest financial well-being. So through objective measure they are worse, and through subjective measure they are also worse. So and then low financial well-being are those who are poor but saying their economic situation is better. Middle financial well-being are those people who are middle class according to the income quantile with moderate economic situation. I mean financial satisfaction. And then high financial well-being is a rich household, and worse economic situation. Worse economic situation means when they respond to this question, how do you feel how do you feel about your economic situation? They give their satisfaction according to the Likert scale, which has 5 categories. So these 5 categories are those worse, little better, moderate, good, and best according to that. Then we have high financial well-being and highest financial well-being. So when we run the ordinal logistic regression, we found that education and assets are significant predictors of financial well-being. The odds are almost 1, which indicates that there is very, very minute, small magnitude of their effect. However, employment significantly affects financial well-being, which we know that due to employment, we can get better livelihood, and objectively, it affects our financial well-being. So this paper is unique in a way that I have combined both objective and subjective measures. The odds of same financial well-being are higher for self-employed people. Age and household size are insignificant to affect the financial well-being. The odds of having higher financial well-being are lower for urban region than for rural region. That is little a surprise for most of the, that is little contradicting with the literature. Why? Because this indicates that migrating to urban areas does not necessarily improve the economic situation of people already having low, moderate, and high financial well-being. At this time, PSLM has also introduced the migration data, so we will also look into that for finding the reasons for this. Education is likely to produce increasing returns to scale for low financial well-being. So the positive effect of education on financial well-being goes with the findings of Michaelis, whereas later findings are according to the concept of scarcity theory. Similarly, as higher education leads to better wages, it tends to increase financial well-being. Likelihood of increase in financial well-being is negatively affected by increasing age. Individuals follow life cycle income hypothesis according to Modigliani for their income, whereas their incomes increase, their age reach some maximum point and starts decreasing. We have also seen this curved effect through age scale, which we found insignificant. The results show that younger people are more likely to have moderate, high, and highest financial well-being, but as age increases, it is more likely that individual has low financial well-being. We found a significant effect of age on financial well-being and adjusted financial well-being, respectively, but the magnitude of odds is very small, so we did not find any curvy relationship of age. Literature also gave mixed findings of the relationship between age and financial well-being. And usually urban areas are considered to have more financial well-being than rural areas, but results have shown that urban areas may also decrease the odds of higher financial well-being. Earlier, I was telling you an overall result for a particular higher financial well-being. Urban areas may tend to decrease the odds of higher financial well-being. So we can say that migration by poor people to urban areas does not assure an absolute increase of having higher financial well-being. Through a micro survey, we have found that there are differences in financial well-being across different levels of income exist within the same country, and different demographic factors may affect the financial well-being of Pakistan's individual in different ways. It is not always postulated that rich are always happier than poor in a particular country. which is also proposed by Easterlin, but rather they derive their happiness differently. This study also confirms the effect of different factors affecting the well-being by levels of income as suggested by Maslow. We in this particular study, we combined income to the financial well-being. I mean, we constructed the dependent variable using both objective and subjective measures. But before this, we also saw an independent effect of income on subjective financial well-being. That's why I made this conclusion. There is a need for more comprehensive micro database through which individual well-being and their level of financial satisfaction can be explored in more detail at national level. The sole focus on income growth policies will not increase the financial well-being of individuals necessarily. Thus, a focus on improving socioeconomic situation of households may play a very important role in improving financial well-beings of individuals. And it will also help in making a national policy, especially when they are focusing on election campaigns and trying to improve the economic well-being of the whole country and the economic satisfaction of the whole country. So that is all from my side. Thank you so much for candid listening, and also thank you AIBPM for giving me a chance to present my research.
Thank you very much, Professor Wajiha. It was really, great insights about understanding the financial well-being by the data set PSLM. And I am having certain questions, but I will give first opportunity to participants. They can quickly jump, make the discussion more interactive. As the city was, really very nice city. So if anybody is having any question, they can, quickly jump and answer, ask, write in chat box. So I think, our participants, they understood everything. So let me ask it myself.
Yeah, sure.
So as you know, you have done a very great study, financial well-being. So your first argument is that people who are migrating from rural to urban area, so there is, not any certainty that their income can be improved. So then
Yes.
they are, yeah, but then your argument is, totally contradictory, I can say. So it is my suggestion, we are just discussing, it is a dialogue. So don't take it otherwise. So, but, writing the discussion that, urban people, they are not having, better financial well-being than rural. So if we try to understand the theory, theoretically, we are understanding that urban people are having good standard of life in comparing to rural. If we compare them on the basis of assets, on the basis of lifestyle, so urban people are, considered modern, they are innovative, they are exploring the technology, they are having jobs, they are mostly dependent on jobs, on services. So how can you justify that a person is migrating from rural area to urban area and then, jumping to the conclusion that there is no chance for their financial well-being? In urban areas, the financial well-being is not that certain. So if we can
Yeah.
take this, then yeah.
Yes. Yes, I would like to answer this question. So basically what happens is if people having lower financial well-being in rural areas means that they are having lower objective income. So they have lesser income, and also they are less financially satisfied. And so mostly they are those people who do not have a very significant skill. So when they migrate to urban areas, they lack the skill to match the kind of skill required by the urban areas. So they do not get adjusted into a higher skill employment, or they usually get unemployed, or they get such certain job which is much lower than the what they are doing earlier. So there is higher probability. Theory says that if unskilled people move towards the high skilled areas, there are high probability that they will become unemployed. So that's why we found that as compared to them when they migrate. If there is a probability, then they have lower financial well-being. So yes, when we see a contrast between those people, so people in urban areas having higher financial well-being, and people in what you are saying, what you also pointed towards, that people in urban areas have higher standard of living, but at the same time, why certain people rank at lower financial satisfaction? Because of peer comparison. So if, for example, if I do not have a certain digital gadgets or things like that in my area in Pakistan, my peers also don't have. But if I am in US, I will start feeling poor, because my peers have very much higher income. So it's also an effect of relativity as well, if we see only in urban areas.
Yes, I got your point, but your argument was altogether different there. So I suggest you look, as you have explained at this point, you can put other things with them. If there is a chance that people are attracted towards urban areas because they feel that the living of standard of living is better there, and they try to imitate and to migrate those areas, but there is no chance. You have to give like. So my
Thank you so
second
much.
question, my second question is, have you explored gender differences
Yes,
on
yes,
financial well-being?
yes.
But
Gender was also one of the factors. I have only discussed significant factors, so gender had no effect so far.
okay, so as per age, as you have done the quantile analysis with respect to income, how you have taken the age? What were the categories of age? So as
As
you have referred to the theory of Modi-Gilani life cycle hypothesis theory.
yes,
So
yes,
he is discussing life into three stages. When an individual is dependent, totally having no income, then he becomes young and he is earning the money. And at the third stage, he again become dependent when he is retiring. So
yes.
how you have taken age as a independent variable? If we can put some light on that.
Yeah, I have taken age as a continuous variable. Just for the explanation, I use this life cycle hypothesis and tried to discuss what my findings came out. So I have used it as a continuous variable because as a demographic by training, we have been trained to use continuous variables at first instance. Otherwise, we may lose information. But yes, you are right. If I dichotomize into different stages, I might get more insight.
Yes, you will get more insights, and in using this order logic input in theta I dot and with the respect to age, you will get different result. Because different age groups, when we are giving theoretical background of Modi Gilani, he is
Yeah.
it's himself dividing the theory into three stages. The dependent population who are not earning, they will be excluded. So they are happy by the pocket money of their parents, their children, they are support going. So that population will be excluded. Then there will be the competition. Then you are having social. So about the urban and rural, so it was all from my side. So I congratulate you for sharing such a wonderful evidences about the Pakistan and financial well-being. Thanks very much,
Thank you so
for
much for
sharing.
thank you so much for your insightful suggestions, and it will surely improve my research and for making it for further for publication. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, now let us move towards our third speaker, Dr. Ten Lei Hong from Universiti Teknikal, Malaysia. So I'm sorry if I am doing the wrong pronunciation, but I hope
Yeah,
I
I
have
think it's
done some.
correct.
Okay,
It's
thank you very
correct.
much. Dr. Tan Lei Hong currently holds the position of senior lecturer at the Faculty of Technology Management and Technopreneurship at University Teknikal, Malaysia, Melaka, Malaysia. She completed her doctoral study at the Faculty of Technology Management and techno-entrepreneurship at UTM. Our fields of expertise include service marketing, service quality management, technology management, and sustainable management. In addition to her academic pursuits, Dr. Ten has accumulated several years of lecturing experience at various colleges and prestigious universities. Additionally, Dr. Ten has gained extensive industrial experience, particularly in the food manufacturing sector. Her expertise in this domain demonstrated her practical knowledge of the industry and it is associated challenge. This experience likely allows her to provide valuable insights into her students and enrich her teaching with real-world examples. Furthermore, Dr. Ten's involvement in government projects highlights her ability to engage in public sector initiatives. By focusing on these projects, they are likely to gain a comprehensive understanding of government projects highlights her ability to engage in public sector initiatives. By focusing on these projects, they are likely to gain comprehensive understanding of government processes and the challenges and opportunities they present. This experience positions her as well as rounded professional who can contribute not only to the academia but also to a broader societal development. Or Dr. Ten, the time is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Are you able to see my slide?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Good morning to everyone. I'm Tan from Universiti Teknikal Malaysia, Melaka. So welcome all to the ICPM's conference. So today I want to share with you an important topics regarding about developing a gender responsiveness framework for implementing a woman-friendly city in Malaysia. So as Malala Yousafzai once said, we cannot all succeed when half of us are held back. So this powerful statement actually underlines the importance of creating an environment where all the women actually can thrive alongside with the men. So what does it takes to build a city where everyone woman feels safe, empowered, and also valued? So in our city in Malaysia, actually we have made a significant strive towards a gender equality, but there is still much works need to be done. Many of us have actually experienced the challenges that comes with navigating about the urban space as a woman, whether it's finding the safe transportations, equal opportunity at work, or even just having a voice in our community decision-making process. So today, we will explore what makes a city truly woman-friendly. So we will highlight some of the successful initiatives from around the world and also discuss about the practical step we can take to implement this idea in our community. By the end of these sections, you will have an experience to have some of the concrete strategies to advocate for a safer street, more inclusive policy, and also greater support for the women initiatives in our city. So do you know that the city they are designed with a woman in mind, not only to improve the safety and quality of the woman, but also enhance the well-being and economic prosperity of the entire community. So I challenge each of you to envision our city as a place where every woman feels safe, empowered, and also equality. So together we can make these visions as a reality. So today I want to talk about some of the pressing issue or some of the problems that actually happens in Malaysia. So we have actually facing some of the challenges in creating a gender responsiveness urban space. So one of the bigger issue women face is about the safety concern. So especially when women they are using the public transportations or working on the streets due to the sexual harassment cases that happen. So you can see from the left-hand side, so a recent IPPOS survey in 2022, actually they have determined that sexual harassment is one of the issue that happens they are facing by the Malaysian women. With 35% of the respondents, actually they are ranking that these are their highest concerns. when they are using some of the public transportations or they are walking on the street. So other major concerns identified by the respondent, for example, the sexualization of the woman and the right in the media with 25%, and the sexual violence cases with 75%. So second, another accessibility also is another major concern. Many of the public facility and also the employment opportunity are not well designed with the woman needs in mind. So moreover, women are often underrepresented in the urban planning processes and also their decisions making process, which means that their perspective and also the needs are actually frequently overlooked by the governments. There's also a significant communications gap between the experts who advocate for the woman-friendly city, and this has actually leading to a lack comprehensive policy and also the infrastructure. So finally, there is a disconnect between the academic research and the practice implications in this field. So this means that while we have a plenty of the study, we have plenty of the research on the gender responsiveness urban planning, these insights are not being effectively translated into a real world solution. So addressing this issue actually is required a concerted effort to ensure our city are safe, accessible, and also inclusive for everyone. So to achieve this, we must have actively to involve the woman in the planning process, invest in the safety measure for the public space, and also to create a policy that can prioritize the gender's equality. So by working together, we can build urban environments that can support and also empower all the members of our community. So for my research, actually, I'm looking into Subang Jaya in Malaysia, which has the distinctions of being the first country woman-friendly city in Malaysia. So this research actually focuses on three objectives. The first one is to develop a gender responsive framework for implementing the woman-friendly city. Second, what are the gender inclusive activity and infrastructure elements that have the potential to enhance the Subang Jaya as a woman-friendly city? The third, what are the strategies can be formulated to effectively promote the awareness and also implementations of the gender inclusive activity and infrastructure elements that aims at enhancing the Subang Jaya as a woman-friendly city? So this slide, ladies and gentlemen, this slide actually showcase some of the newspaper clippings celebrating the Subang Jaya remarkable achievement as the first woman-friendly city in Malaysia. We have actually received a coverage across a diverse range of the medias, this including from the Chinese, English, and Malay newspaper. So right now, I proceed to the literature review. According to the United Nations in year 2022, inclusive city is a place where everyone has the power to participate productively and also positively in the opportunity the city has to offer regardless of the property, gender, age, race, or the religion. So you can see from this diagram, one of the key ways of the gender mainstreaming manifest in the urban planning is through the concept of a woman-friendly city. So this idea actually they have emerged in the 1970s when the woman activists in the North America has started to begins to advocating for enhance the safety for the woman in their daily life. By 1980s, the conversation actually has been expanded to include how the urban planning could be improved from a gender perspective. So the concept actually has gained international traction with the European Declaration for the Woman, for the Urban Woman in 1994 and the United Nations Habitat Second Urban Woman Life in 1996. So this actually marking the first official discussions on the building a gender equality city. So a woman-friendly city focus on the gender mainstreamings, and actually mainstreaming and also the gender equality. They're recognizing that the women and men actually they have experienced the urban environment differently. So to create a gender-sensitive urban planning and also urban space, we need to incorporate the gender awareness and at every of the stages. So you can see from the slide in your right hand side, according to the urban development in the Vienna in 2013. So starting from the goal setting, and then it's through the planning and implementations to evaluating the effectiveness of this measure. So this holistic approach actually is to ensure that the urban space are safe, accessible, and also equitable for everyone. And creating a woman-friendly city, actually, they require a cohesive integrations of the international frameworks and also the local policy aims at promoting the gender equality, women's rights, and also sustainable urban development. So the key international frameworks such as the New Urban Agenda, and then adopted during the Habitat 3 conference, emphasize that inclusive urban plannings and managements that prioritize the gender equity and the empowerment of the woman and also the girl. So second, the Sustainable Development Goal, SDG, particularly in the Goal 5 about the gender equality, and Goal 11 is about the sustainable city and community. So this actually has provided a global blueprint for the city to achieve the gender equality and inclusive urbanizations. So meanwhile, the conventions on the eliminations of all forms of the discriminations against the women, and then Security Council of the resolutions, and also United Nations Security Council resolution, UNESCO Priority Gender Equality Actions Plan from year 2014 to year 2021, the United Nations Declarations on the Right of the Indigenous People, United Nations Human Rights and the Environment and the Gender Equality in year 2021. So locally in Malaysia, the policies such as sorry, are you able to see my slide?
Yes, we are at literature review slide.
Okay, because I think I mistakenly pressed a buttons. So actually locally in Malaysia, we do have some of the policy. For example, the Selangor Women Policy and also the Subang Jaya Women Friendly City Action Plan. And then by aligning all these framework and also the policy, the city can be effectively to address the specific needs of the woman and creating urban environments that are not only safe and also inclusive, but also conducive for all the well-being and empowerment of the woman and also the girls. So as I mentioned, my research actually, I'm focused in the Subang Jaya. So Subang Jaya is the first woman-friendly city in Malaysia. So Subang Jaya, maybe some of you heard about the Subang Jaya. So actually Subang Jaya is situated in the district of the Petaling in the state of the Selangor with a land area of 161.8 square kilometer. And also actually is located just 20 km away from our Kuala Lumpur. So Kuala Lumpur is our capital of Malaysia, and Subang Jaya is a well-established city with an urban built-up area of 84% that are primarily consist of the residential and also institutional use supported by the commercial and industry activity. So as a result, it's a home to a diverse of the populations. So we can see from the slide that actually in the Subang Jaya, we have a populations of 968,930. And this actually contributes to the Petaling Street district employment of over 1.2 million. So this is the slide about land use pattern in the Subang Jaya that actually I have explained just now. And for the next slide actually is regarding about our research methodology. So firstly, we have conducted the primary data collections through the expert interview and also the observations. So in terms of the expert interview, we are engaged with the city council members, urban planners, and also various of the experts specializing in creating the woman-friendly city in Malaysia. And observation, we are closely observe the implementations and the impact of this initiative. And for our secondary data collection, we are focused on two key areas. The first one is about the literature review. We are thoroughly review the existing literature review to understand about the global and also some of the local best practice. We did some of the benchmark. And for the policy analysis, our policy review included a wide range of the importance framework, such as the New Urban Agenda, Sustainable Development Goal, and the conventions on the eliminations of all forms of the discriminations against the women and several others. So specifically, we are examined in the United Nations Security Council Resolution, UNESCO Priority Gender Equity Action Plan from year 2014 to 2021, and then the United Nations Declarations on the Right of the Indigenous Peoples, and the United Nations Human Rights and the Environment and the Gender Equality in year 2021. And locally, we are actually review some of the our Malaysia's policy, for example, the Selangor Women Policy, and then the Subang Jaya Women Friendly City Action Plan. So actually, this comprehensive step from the primary data collection and also the secondary data collections to ensure that our actually research was grounded in both expert insight and also with a robust policy framework. So setting a solid foundations for the Subang Jaya success as a Subang as a woman-friendly city. So actually, these are some of the photos that actually I've taken during our observations through the Subang Jaya 2 weeks ago. And then you can see that actually they have some of the women designated parking, they have a woman toilet, and then the lactations, swimming pool, they are specifically for the woman, and also some of the gym rooms, they are specifically for the woman. And then we have a woman parking area, and then we have like the parking area for the pregnant women. And then you can see that in there some of the public transportation or public area, actually they have installed a lot of the CCTV. So these are some of the stakeholder engagement. It means that the activity, community activity that actually involvement with the women. So now I proceed to the discussions. So based on our finding, actually, I'm proud to present that the newly developed models for the woman-friendly city involve targeting a specific group of the women. Actually, it can be categorized into the four main groups. The first is the females municipal elected official. Secondly is the elderly women. The third is the female student in the college and the school. Because actually in the Subang Jaya, when I did my observations, go through around the Subang Jaya area, and then I noticed that actually they have around 36 colleges and also university, including the public university or the private university, public college or the private college. They have 36. And then actually, this actually is very big amount. And then the last one is a woman in the professionals role. So our model actually emphasize. So in your right hand side is a woman-friendly city models that actually we have developed. And our models actually emphasize in the 12 key themes that significantly influence the woman everyday life. So these themes actually are very crucial for creating a truly woman-friendly city. And these 12 themes including like for example, the governance and leadership, the safety, housing and land rights, economy, security, education, health, transportations, environments and resilience, art, media and cultural, infrastructures and services, urban space, and last but not least is the peace and also the security. So by adopting this gender-sensitive perspective across these 12 themes, city can create an environment that are more inclusive, safe, and also empowering for the woman. So this holistic approach ensure that women needs and also women experience are at the forefront and ultimately promoting the inclusivity, safety, and empowerment for all the community in the Subang Jaya. So now actually we are looking into each of these themes and also its attribute. So first up, I mentioned about the government and also the leadership. So imagine that in a city where all the women and also the girls are empowered at every level, having the equal right and also participations in the decision making process. That means that a woman friendly city, they are aiming for empowerment. Woman friendly city is pushing for equal rights and also participations in the decision making for women and girls in all the field and also all the level. And also, they're opening up the continuous conversations with the women to truly understand their need and also their perspective. And women are not just a participations, but they are key player in the urban and territorial planning. So in terms of the gender responsiveness budgeting, financial plan will also reflect the needs of the woman, ensuring that all the resources are actually allocated fairly for the woman and also the man. So a civic responsibility. So a woman-friendly city, actually, they are enhancing the woman roles in governance through the better access to the informations and also the technology. So for the second is about the safety. So on the safety front, we are committed to eradicating all form of the violence and also sexual harassment against the women and the girls. So ending the harmful practices and designing a transportation infrastructure with their safety in mind. So now we are looking into the third one. So it's about the humans, it's about the housing and also the land line. So what we are advocating for a gender responsiveness housing policy. So this means that actually creating a housing solutions that cater the specifically to the needs of the woman. We are also focused on the gender responsive solution for the land and property line, ensuring that women actually they have a secure land tenants. This is about giving a woman the security and stability they need to drive. The fourth is about the economy security. So economy empowerment is also very important and very crucial. We are fighting for the equal pay for the woman because this equal pay actually deserve for the equal work. And we are also working to improve the livelihood, working conditions, and the income security for women, especially those actually in the informal economy. So this include creating a gender sensitive policy to eradicate the poverty and ensuring the equal economy right for all the women and also the girls. So now next. So the next one is about the education. So education is also a foundation of the empowerment. We are striving to equalize the education's access for all, making sure that every of the girls and also women, they has the opportunity to learn and also to grow. So we are also committed to the gender sensitive education facility that provide a safe and also inclusive learning environment. Six is about the health. So health is also another pillars of our woman-friendly city models. So we are working towards a healthy and secure environments for all the women and also the girl. So this actually is to aims to eliminate the harmful practices and ensures that everyone actually they have the access to the adequate, inclusive, and also quality of the healthcare services. Additionally, we are focusing on improving the nutrition for the adolescent girls, pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, and also the older adult women. The seven is about the transportation. When it comes to getting around, we are all about the gender responsiveness, planning, and investments for sustainable urban mobility. So we are prioritizing the need of the women and girls by improving the route safety, the street safety, and incorporating it into the transportation infrastructures design. So the eight is about the environment and resilience. So our environment effort actually include the gender responsiveness policy for the urban resilience and planning. We want to empower the women in the climate change planning and management. So this can reducing the gender-based discriminations in environmental issue. So women voice are actually important and vital in decision-making process related to the environment actions or environment activity. So the ninth one actually is about the art and media cultural themes. So cultural and medias also play a significant role in shaping the perceptions. So we aim for gender equality in the cultural life and women equal participation. In media, we want to see more women in the leadership and decision-making process role, ensuring that the genders sensitive reporting and the safety of the women journalists. The 10 is about the infrastructure and also the services. So a basic infrastructure must be caters to everyone, including the men and also the women. So we are advocating for the gender equality in the sustainable basic infrastructures in Malaysia. This to ensure that the services meet the need of the diverse need of the woman. 11th is about the urban space. So safety in our city, no matters in which of the city. So this actually is including the Subang Jaya is where is a paramount or is very important. We are committed to eliminating the violence and also the sexual harassment cases against a woman and girl in all the private and also public space. So we want to ensure that equal access to the safe, inclusive, and also eco-friendly public space where everyone can feel secure and also the safe. Last but not least is about the peace and also the security. So finally, in terms of the peace and also the security, we emphasize the woman representation in the decision-making process for the conflict resolution and also the peace building. We are dedicated to safeguarding the women and also the girls from the gender-based violence during the armed conflict and also providing the assistance or providing the aids to those who are actually affected. So actually this including the victim of the violence. So by addressing these comprehensive 12 themes, or I can say that they are actually in my these women-friendly cities models, I have 12 themes. So we are committed to building a city that are truly inclusive, safe, and also empowering for all the women. So together we can create an urban environments where women not only live but thrive. So by adopting this gender responsiveness perspective across all these 12 themes, city can create a more safety environment that can better to cater to the needs of the woman and also to enhance their experience. So this actually ultimately can increase or to promote the inclusivity, safety, and also empowerment. So as a conclusion, when we are talking about the urban developments, it's very important or essential that we make sure that it responds to the need of everyone. So this including both men and also the women. City should be place where everyone feels safe, included, and also supported. So we need to recognize that the women experience the city differently as compared to the men. So this means that we have to prioritize their needs. The woman needs to ensure our urban development is both sustainable and equitable. So it's all about making sure that the woman feel just as comfortable as safe as a man in our city. So when we are talking about the Sustainable Development Goal SDG, so actually this SDG actually is to give us a global framework. So the real magic happens at the local level. So our local government policy, actually they have implemented a lot of actions, initiative, and also activity to ensure that this city or the community actually they are feeling safe, inclusive, and also equitable. So when we are talking about the promoting the gender equality and also empowering of the woman, is not just one of the goals. It's very important to integrate it to achieving for all other SDG. So when we uplift the women, we uplift the entire of the community. So by adopting a gender sensitive perspective across these 12 themes, we can actually create urban environments that better caters to our woman need and also woman experience. So this ultimately promoting inclusivity, safety, and empowerment for all. Okay, that's all for my sharings. Okay, I thank you very much for the AIBM for provide me an opportunity to sharing some of my a part of my research that I'm going on. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tan. So we are now open for question and answer session. Those who are having any question regarding Dr. Tan's presentation, they can quickly jump and ask. Meanwhile, we are having one question in chat box from Professor Dr. Wajiha. Can you speak directly by unmuting, opening video? It will be more interactive by asking that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that how worse was gender parity in Subang Jaya, because as far as of my experience, it's very gender inclusive already. So do you have any stats that how much it was gender inclusive, and are you talking about improvement in inclusivity, or was it worse? And your research proposes to include women.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Waja, for your questions. So actually, for this, as I mentioned, I believe that you have been went to the Subang Jaya when you ask this kind of a question. So for information, when we are talking about this woman-friendly city, so actually this woman-friendly city is one of the visions in our local governments since year 2017. Since year 2017. So they did have the woman friendly city actions. Then they start from year 2017, they start to implement all kind of the activity and also improve even the infrastructures and also the services, the activity in the Subang Jaya. And also now actually for my research, I'm looking into this Subang Jaya. Actually, I'm looking some of their successful activity and also there are some of their improvement strategy so that this actually it can be implemented in others of the state in Malaysia because some of the state actually in the Malaysia we still have unable to achieve some of the uh, gender equality amongst the women and also the men. And actually for this research, actually I'm just doing it since started in this year, start from the February. Actually, I still in a very initial stage on it because right now actually I'm still involved in the focus group discussions with local municipal officers from the Subang Jaya and also in the Petaling Street. No, Petaling Street, so Petaling Jaya. And then actually I'm looking into what are the successful activity and also what are the successful implementation strategies so that it can be applied to other states and also I've done for the focus group with them in May and also I did some of the observations in the last 2 weeks and right now I come out these models and then has been validated and also verified by the urban planners from the Subang Jaya and also the local governments from the Subang Jaya from our Majlis Bandaraya Subang Jaya. And next, I'm going to proceed for the next month. I'm going to proceed with, to get some of feedback from the community from the Subang Jaya. At the end, I'm going to come out a strategy plan or some of the action plans for the local governments.
So thank you very much for your reply. I'm having few queries, but I do not know how to answer. But my straightforward, actually your lecture was all theoretical. You have suggested bunch of things. Were too much advanced in suggestions. While starting by gender budgeting, gender equality, women empowerment, and all. So let me ask a question in a way that what are the shortcomings of the programs and policies which this Dubangai or Malaysia government has implemented the policies and programs since 2017 or before? What were the shortcomings in these programs? And regarding the political leadership, political participation, political representation, what is the current percentage, current statistics of the women? So if it is already, women secure based city, so we should know these statistics. We should compare things. What is the current condition and what the programs are going to be. Thank you. Can you put some light on them?
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Dr. Fidaus, for your questions. So actually, the dimensions in start from year 2017. Actually, our Selangor stage. Actually, Subang Jaya is located in the Selangor stage. So actually, our Selangor stage gets come out the Selangor Women Policy, and also even some of our ministry, like for example, Ministry of the Women's, and also Ministry of our Children's Development Department. Actually they have come out some of the policy to actually to empower the women. Actually in terms of the percentage, actually in Malaysia, actually we have set our governments from the ministry, like for example from the Ministry of the Women, actually we have set we must have 30% of the women's leadership in all the level, this including in the government's levels, and also this including is company level, and also even whatever industry, actually we have must have a 30% of the women uh, involvement. But however, in certain of the level, actually we still have a gap on it. We are unable to achieve 30% on it for the women participations in the events in the government level, in the industry level, and also in the public level or private level. Yeah, I think that's all that I want to share.
Is the one of the shortcomings you can analyze what are the determining factors why the why the given percentage is not met. So with these words, I once again congratulate you for sharing your wonderful inputs about gender empowerment, inclusive development. Thank you very much. So now let us welcome to our next speaker, Dr. Amna Javed from Japan Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, Japan. Dr. Amna working as a senior lecturer. Good morning. Working as a senior lecturer, Graduate School of Knowledge Science, Japan Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, Japan. She teaches classes on social research method, next generation management of technology, innovation theory, and methodology for social competences to master and doctoral course student. He has 4 doctoral course and 8 master course student for minor research. He has 4 years of work experience in service science and 2 years of experience in transformative knowledge management. He has almost 15 papers in Scopus, more than 30 reputed international and domestic conferences. He has 1 ebook chapter published by Springer, granted 12 research awards and 12 research project-based findings. She is affiliated with international conferences, ICIM, AHFE, and others. As a session chair, co-chair, and scientific advisory board member and technical committee member. She is currently editorial board member of Social Science and Humanities Open Spring Journal. Her areas of research specializes service design, education science, service science, Islamic banking and finance, and knowledge management. Or Dr. Amna, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Firdaus. So let me share the slides. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. As Dr. Firdaus already introduced me, so my name is Amna Javed, and my main research area is about, my screen is disappear. Okay, so my main research area is about transformative knowledge management. And today I'm going to talk about how you create value in the multifaceted economy. So crafting value in the multifaceted economy is the main title of my presentation today. So here are my presentation contents. I will discuss mainly three parts. The first part will explain what is value and its importance. In the second part, I will discuss how do we create values in the businesses. And the third part belongs to my research activities, basically almost the majority of the activities that I include in my presentation to represent different sectors of the economy and case representations in the service science. Lastly, some concluding remarks. So let's move on to the first part, that is about value simplification and categorization. Let me begin my talk with the question, what are values? I would like to encourage you to think values in different ways. Like values are the social glue that hold us together with all our beautiful differences. And if you let your friends, your family, and most importantly, your partner know why a certain value is important to you, then it's better to share some stories instead of just presenting some abstract definitions. In other words, we can say values refers to the worth, importance, or utility that something possesses. It is a subjective concept that can vary from person to person depending on the individual preferences, needs, and circumstances. So moreover, we can say value is not solely limited to the tangible or material aspects, but can be extended to intangible factors such as emotional well-being, personal growth, social connections, or environmental sustainability. If we see the features of values, then values are the convictions and frameworks of the philosophy of an individual on the basis of which he or she can judge what is good, what is bad, what is desirable, what is undesirable, or most importantly, what is ethical, what is unethical. So all about values. So values contain a judgmental element that can be explained as one's judgment of what is important in your life. I must say, values are principles or standards of behavior and emotionally charged priorities. There are multiple kinds of values. Might be you are quite familiar with these values. So I'm just going to give you some snapshot of these values and the most important value that I'm going to incorporate in all of my research work. So first is the moral values that are basically principles or beliefs that guide ethical behavior or decision making. Cultural values reflect the beliefs, attitude, customs, or traditions of a particular society or community. There are some examples also given. Personal values are individual beliefs and principles that guide an individual choices, actions, and priorities. Economic values that pertain to the worth or utility based on goods, services, or resources in an economic context. So most of the people are quite using this type of values, economic values, in their businesses. Next is the environmental values. These relate to the importance and preservation of the natural environment and ecosystem. These values emphasize sustainable practices and protection of natural resources and the overall health of the planet, basically. Aesthetic values, as the name shows, are associated with beauty, artistic expressions, and sensory experiences. The next is the utilitarian value that emphasize efficiency, effectiveness, and the optimization of resources for the benefit of society as a whole. So it depends on us which type of values we are going to include in our business. So I will talk about mainly the last, but not the least, the most important emerging type of value, that is social value. That are the set of moral principles defined by society dynamics, institutions, traditions, and cultural beliefs. These days, the companies are focusing on social values in parallel with the economic values to make more success in the market. So I am going to explain some of the cases, my research cases, that will talk about just economic profit is not enough. If you combine economic profit with the social profit or social values, then you can make more profit, you can earn more success, and all such things. There are multiple sources of value formation in any society. These are social institutions, organizational values, peers and colleagues. You can also get values from your work and career. There are various institutions in the society which coach value in an individual. The life and development of a society are both based upon and produce values. In particular, there are four main institutions, might be you are familiar with. One basic source of value is you can get the values from the persons or from the organizations. So mainly your family, your school, your state, your religion. So all these main schools are going to provide you the values. Every organization has a set of values. Whether or not they are written down, the values guide the perspective of the organization as well as its actions. So these values play an important role in determining how the organizations confronts problems and issues in their business models. Next source is the peers and colleagues. An individual gets clue of behavior from his peers and colleagues. Values strengthen, protect, and solidify a given group. Therefore, the individual tries to follow that group norm of behavior. And last source is the work and career. That consists of the task or responsibilities associated with a particular job or position in an organization. An individual experience over a period of time constitutes his or her career, basically. So in an organization, different position holders will have different values according to their specialities. We talk about values and several kinds of values with description. So now the curiosity is why value matters. Value matters because it plays a crucial role in shaping our decisions, actions, and perceptions. Value help us to make choices and prioritize among alternatives. Understanding the value of different alternatives enables us to make informed decisions that align with our goals. It's closely tied up to our satisfaction and well-being. It tends to bring a sense of fulfillment and happiness. So recognizing our own values can contribute to a more meaningful and purposeful life. Values provide a foundation for setting goals and driving motivation. It creates a sense of purpose and direction to strive for personal growth, success, and positive change in your life. So value is very important. You must heard about values and goals. So there is some, both looks like similar, but both are interconnected concepts, but both are different that influence our behavior, decisions, and overall sense of purpose. Here is some comparison that I'm going to show you about values and goals. So just to give you some snapshot about the difference, what major difference is. Because goal is also the ultimate result, value is also the ultimate result. So what's the difference? The difference mainly comes when we talk about the definition. Values are fundamental beliefs or principles that guide our behavior and shape our perceptions of what is important in life. However, goals are more specific, measurable, and time-bound objectives that we strive to achieve. And if you see the nature of the two concepts, that value are enduring and relatively stable over time, but goals are more specific and can change over time. Values serve as moral compass influencing our choices, actions, and relationships. However, goals provide direction and focus, motivating us to take actions and work towards desired outcomes. Here are some examples that values include honesty, compassion, respect, fairness, freedom, family, personal growth even. And goals are more about career aspirations, educational achievements, health and fitness goals, financial objectives, relationship goals even, and many more. So this is just the difference that I wanted to show you to understand what I did in my research. So let me end the part one with the famous value phrase of Mr. Roy. And it says, it's not hard to make decisions once you know what your values are. So this concept is not very new. So people already talk about values, but how we implement values in our businesses, that's totally unexplored area. So that's why I'm working on this creating value research. The part 2 of my presentation is about the art of creating value. How do we create values? In the 21st century, with the change in the mindset of the people, the economic trend has shifted from the product economy to the service and sharing economy. Their foundational proposition is that organizations, markets, stakeholders, and society are fundamentally concerned with the exchange of services. So mainly, I'm engaged in case study research on the latest service mechanism to create maximum value for all the involved stakeholders in a service. So now the question is, what is creating value? Creating value is executing normal, conscious, inspired, and even imaginative actions that increase the overall good and well-being. Value is always waiting to happen. We just need to realize when and how to create and deliver value. So value is always there. Here is the list of some important original value words and some new value words. So original value words might be you are quite familiar with: creating shared value, co-creating value, experiential value, value in use. And the new words are basically value creation, value destruction, stakeholder value, value preservation, value starvation. So these are all the topics that are latest trend towards value. Now the curiosity is, how do firms create value? If you think about this question, then there is a famous person, Michael Porter, who talk about value creation process, how to create value in your organization, how you identify which part needs to create more values, which part is efficient to create more values. So all about this thing, Porter's value chain concept is all about this. He mentioned if you minus the cost of creating value from the created value, then you can earn more profit in your organization or in your business. So its value chain concept is basically a set of activities to create values by the organization for the customers. It focuses on system rather than just the departments. He mentioned that there are two main activities: primary activities that are more about inbound logistics, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, service, etc. And support activities that are most about technology development and human resource management, from infrastructure and others. So he mentioned his value chain concept is basically useful for strategic management tool for identifying where the greatest value lies in your organization and how you can increase it. So this concept was given by Michael Porter, and after that, we research on the values concept in different perspectives. Valuing people over profit is a mindset that prioritizes the well-being and happiness of individuals. These days, we are valuing people over profit. That's why the most services that are making some progress, they are more towards people-oriented than the profit-oriented. So it depends how we create happiness for the individuals within an organization or within the society, rather than just focusing solely on financial gain. So here are some suggestions that if you establish a people-centric culture to foster a culture that promotes respect and empathy, then you are more towards people-centric culture than the profit one. You have to prioritize the employee well-being. Next is to engage in ethical business practices, and also to consider broader societal impact on your organization. And finally, to measure success beyond financial metrics. Then you will be more able to focus or prioritize your customers or employees or people in your organization than just the money. If you don't know what your value is, how do you sell your value or price to your employer? So what employer are going to find? Employer never hires a person. The employer has the fulfillment of a need. He has the value. So we must understand what our value is, because we are going to sell our value to get a job in a competitive organization. Same phrase goes for the customers. Let me end the part 2 with the value phrase, strive not to be a success. It's about Albert Einstein. He mentioned strive not to be a success, but rather to be a value. The third and the last part of my presentation is about creating and delivering value in the economy. So if we see the economy there, that includes several sectors, and these sectors are further divided into several categories based on the product or service design. So first is the primary sector that covers agriculture economy. That means to extract raw materials directly from the earth or sea. So my research is not based on primary sector because it's more about agriculture. The second sector is about industrial revolution and processes to manufacture products from raw materials and demonstrate a middle income economy. This is also more about industries. My research focus starts from the tertiary sector. That explains the economies of modern consumer societies that provide a service. So service sector is my main research area. So service industries are the largest sector, and that indicates high income economy, and the service economy has the biggest contribution in the GDP. That is the reason for the selection of tertiary sector in my research. So as the producer side of service industry, I selected banking as a target industry. And the focus of my research was about Islamic banking that shows a significant progress and is getting popularity worldwide, not only among Muslims, but also among non-Muslim countries. So towards consumer service industry, my target is to choose transportation that has a biggest contribution these days in the sharing economy. So my research focus on ride-hailing services. The fourth sector is quaternary sector that represents knowledge economy. That is an intellectual aspect of the economy, and it includes education, training, and the development of technology, basically. And the target of education sector and the focus of this research, my research is basically active learning. That's very important these days in the academics. The fifth and the most important sector is culinary sector that is quite unexplored, but in my research, I'm going to explore this sector more, and that is about decision making. And when we think about decision making, then the value perspective cannot be ignored at all. As I discussed earlier, all the types of values. The target here is creating value in different service sectors. These days, the largest business trend is creating shared value. Might be you are quite familiar with this concept. This is the concept that is experienced by some big organizations, but still there are very little examples. So I incorporated this concept into my research, and I try to give some good cases to explore this concept more. So I'm going to show you some cases. This CSV concept says corporate policies and practices that enhance the competitiveness of a company while simultaneously advancing economic and social conditions in the communities in which the company operates. So your social benefit should not be separate from the economic benefit. So if you are going to make some strategy, if you are going to develop some business model, and you are just making some economic benefits and your profit is going as a charity, then that's something CSR point of view. But this concept says both should be in parallel. Here, I'm going to talk about creating value framework that I developed in my research, and I try to work on these components. There are basically three components, and I will explain one by one. The first component is the theoretical side of creating value. So that covers some theories, some theoretical concepts, that is, for example, service dominant logic framework, CSV, creating shared value framework, etc. So these concepts are explored in my research. The second component is more about educational side of creating value. You cannot create value if you don't focus on education. So which relates to the problem-based learning, active learning, and facilitation. The third component is the knowledge science side of creating value. So what type of values you are going to create in your organization. So it can be the blend of some good concepts. So which is the science of team building? That was my focus through psychological safety. So psychological safety concept is basically for organizations. But in my research, I tried to explore this concept in education. The focus of the rest of my talk is on the secrets of creating value. Values can be created through collaboration. If some person has good knowledge and skills, then he can create more values for himself and for others. So collaboration is the best way to create values on an emergent basis. The first component is the theory of creating value. That is the concept that explores how organizations or individuals can create and deliver value to their stakeholders. It involves understanding the needs and preferences of stakeholders and developing strategies to make those needs in a way that exceeds their expectations. The theory also emphasizes the importance of understanding stakeholder needs, developing unique value propositions, delivering the value effectively, capturing a portion of the value, and continuously measuring and improving the value creation process. So it is important to note that different industries, contexts, and perspectives may have variations in the theories and frameworks used to explain and implement the concept of creating value in their businesses. So it depends on the context and the industries. So all the industries can create values in a different way. Let me show you the first case example. That is basically my research, and I focus on the 20th century, what was the trend, and I focused the latest trend in the 21st century. So if we see in academia, the product view is discussed as goods dominant logic, and service view is explained as service dominant logic. So when it comes to the difference of conventional and Islamic banking, to explain this concept, GDL and SDL, I took the case of Islamic banking and conventional banking to check the service-oriented business shift. So if we see the difference, the conventional banks focus on individual transactions, and it deals basically with multiple parties differently. Conventional bank says that they sell services, but with the theoretical point of view, they follow goods dominant logic. However, Islamic banks follow partnership-based transactions. So collaboration is always there and always act as an intermediary. If you want to deal with Islamic bank is always in the middle. So you cannot get, the most important difference is it deals in commodity, not in money like conventional banks. So under the new economic shift, it turned out that Islamic banks are more service-oriented than conventional banking. And I proved these results by having some field research in Pakistan, Malaysia, and UAE. So 3 countries where Islamic bankings are getting popular day by day. And my focus research question was basically, why does Islamic banking is getting popular among non-Muslims? Let's see another research case to see the success of platform business. And this is mainly in this era, the focus of most industries are towards creating shared value. And I implemented CSV concept in ride-hailing company. And it was first introduced by Porter, as I explained before, and he had a great stress that CSR is not enough for companies, that is more about charity. So they have less power to boost the economy. So it is necessary to incorporate the social goals with the business goals. And the best example I found, Uber and Careem. If we see the difference of Uber and Careem, Careem is Uber. You all know Careem is a UAE-based company that is getting popular among different other countries. That's a live hailing platform, and it follows a conventional platform business. But Careem has extended its business beyond boundary. So target of Uber is mainly to earn profit because it's a giant company. Maybe there is no need to expand. So it focuses on rich community. And I found some like in a book, Uberland, it says drivers are not happy with Uber because everything is algorithm based. Everything is fixed. You cannot have choices to select. But Careem, after investigating Careem, it turned out that the success factor of Careem is basically to involve all the levels of society to its service ecosystem. And when I interviewed with the drivers and all the management, then I found that drivers are more happy and satisfied because they have the flexibility of working conditions. So I did field research in Pakistan, UAE, and Turkey, basically. So 3 countries I visited and collected my data. The second component is education plays a crucial role in equipping individuals with the knowledge, skills, and mindset necessary for creating value. Here are some aspects of education that contribute to enhancing value creation: knowledge acquisition, critical thinking and problem-solving approach, communication and presentation skills, and many others. Recently, the education sector has a great focus on active learning. Real-time active learning is after class. Students must get the knowledge that stays for longer. So normally what is happening in a group learning, teacher is giving the lectures, students are listening the lectures. After the class, they are forgetting everything. So active learning is very important. And when I conducted workshops in my university, and I tried to implement active learning during the class time, the research shows that the real-time active learning can be achieved by focusing on the team building that ensures shared belief and enhanced motivation that results in the achievement of shared value. The last component is the practical side of creating value that refers to the systematic study and understanding of the principles, theories, and methodologies behind value creation. So here, my target is why team building matters. So education is not enough for building teams, rather active experience is the important factor. So I incorporated different concepts, and I found that getting the right people and the right chemistry is more important than the right idea. And this is more, this chemistry can be mimicked through collective intelligence, basically. So what I did, so these days, the implementation of group work is getting attention to promote active learning in the education sector, especially in graduate and postgraduate schools. Due to nature, size, status hierarchy, and diversified features of the group, it is difficult to transform a group, a set of 2 or more people who cooperate to achieve certain targets, into a team, a structural mechanism of collaboration to accomplish common goals. There's numerous reasons behind that. People come from different backgrounds, they have different thoughts, they have different values, they have different behaviors. So all are different. That's why they are working as a group, but not as a team. As a response to the issue, I conducted some workshops in my university, and I found that the concept of psychological safety is the best possible solution to align the vision of the diversified groups into teams, where everyone has the right to lead the discussion under a supportive environment, because it provides secure base for collaborative working and helps to explore innovative solutions and productive ideas. So to conclude, research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. So think critically and try to find some unique points. Then your research will be more able to create more values and more valuable contribution to the society. Let me conclude my talk. Absolutely, polishing your skills in creating value can have a positive impact on your personal and professional life. Here are some ways in which enhancing your value creation skills can lead to improvement are, for example, enhanced problem-solving skills, improved communication, strategic thinking, continuous learning, adaptability, collaboration, teamwork, customer focus, innovation and creativity. And finally, it can be something like results-oriented mindset. So as you become better at understanding the needs of others, solving problems and providing meaningful solutions, you will likely to see more positive outcomes, personal growth, and increased success in your endeavors, whether it's your personal characteristics or you are working in an organization. That's all for my research about my talk, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to explain whatever I'm doing in Japan. So if you are interested to continue with me as a research collaborator, so you are always welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amina, for sharing the valuable insights about the value system, which is nowadays missing in every sector. And then you have highlighted ethics, that ethics matter. So before I jump with some questions, I will encourage participants to write down their questions, or they can raise the hand and we can take questions from them. Any participant who is having any question, please ask. As of now, there is no question, so I will try to share a few queries with you.
Yes, sure.
My first question is, what is the place of value as understanding the religion and education? And the second counterpart is, what are the determinants of value? If you can reply to this, then we can proceed more discussion.
So you mean sorry, what's the first question? What is the price of
what is the place of value?
Place of
in
value.
Religion? Yeah, the place of value. I mean, where from this value comes? Is it education or religion? And how different are education and religion in empowering value in us? Then the second was, what are the determinants to have a value?
Yes, actually, I mentioned in my presentation, there are multiple sources, not only from education. We are getting value from our family, even from the children. We are getting some new things. We are going to learn. Where is learning? There is value. So whenever we are in the, the markets are providing us values, education, family, schools, institutions, cultures, even the religion. Religion also has law that is different in different countries. So there are multiple sources. We have to select which source is more adequate for us to get more values. So it depends on the context and the industry we are applying on. And the second thing is about the determinants. Like I mentioned, value can be in different dimensions. So latest business trend is not only economic value is important. So most of the companies in the past, they focus on economic values. But now the trend has shifted. Okay, no, people don't want just the service. They want the added value. So if we just provide the service, they are going to get the service, but they are not satisfied. So if you want the satisfaction, then we need to add some value with the service. So that's basically the concept that is employed these days in most of the business companies. And I selected some popular cases. So I think I answered your question.
Yes. So is there any question in chat box before I jump with the second one? So I think they are not having any questions. So my second question is that, what are the challenges or compromises that values are facing at considering the working places at different sectors, considering the working places? What are the challenges or compromises that values are facing, keeping in mind the profit objective of companies or businesses?
Actually, still I will say the same thing. It depends on the industry, what challenges we are facing. So all the industries cannot have the same challenges for value creation. So if it's education, then challenges are different. If it's ride-hailing companies, the challenges are different. So mainly we have to observe the market. We have to observe the needs of the customer. We have to observe the needs of the people in our organization. So not only the conventional hierarchy, like a boss is taking the decisions and he is providing the values and everyone is availing the value. That trend is already over. So now it's from the bottom to the top. So people are creating values by themselves, and all the cumulative values are going to the boss, the top management, and then they are providing the values. So challenges comes when the value is top down. So now the challenges are quite minimized because they are involving all the stakeholders, all the parties. But still, there are challenges. It depends on the industry. Like banking industry has different challenges, and ride-hailing has different challenges.
Thank you very much. I am having one more. It will be a bit crucial. It will be a bit crucial. I want to address the global economy.
Yes.
What is the position of the value across the countries, keeping in view the foreign relationships, economies of particular countries, understanding the development institutions like IMF, Development Bank, Asian Development Bank, and other organizations like human rights violation, the ongoing crisis. I am giving you the reference and the background. Ongoing crisis in Ukraine and Russia and Middle East is burning since years. So understanding the value, how world is dealing with the value. So if you are having, so what is the what is the position of value across the world, and between this reference background reference I have given. So how much work we have to to address the value system so that it can be we can say inclusive in nature.
Actually, your question is very interesting. If I talk about value, so now this is almost a concept that is basically towards the business. So you are giving some examples that is more about social issues. So when we talk about social issues, then we cannot incorporate values like you mentioned, Ukraine, and also if we consider values, if we give value to the people, if we give value to us, then there are no fights. There are nothing bad going to be happen. So in social issues, I think still this is the unexplored area. They must work on these areas, how they can create values and they can avoid such social issues, big issues. So in the global economy, these are social issues. But now in the past, in the 20th century, if I talk about 20th century, then there were businesses that were not considering people perspectives, people need, people what they want, what they need, what they require. They just provide service. So that's mainly the thing. I think this is totally unexplored area about the value. And I think I should work on some social issue in the next task.
Yes. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable inputs about value. I got it quite interesting, and I am looking to work on some of this literature.
Yes, sure.
So
thank you for giving suggestion.
So dear participants, now we are going to welcome our last but not least. Please welcome to Professor Ranjit PV from MS Malaya Institute of Management, Bengaluru. Dr. Ranjit holds a PhD in Commerce and Management with NET and an MBA in the area of marketing and operation. His area of teaching includes supply chain management, operation research, operation management, business strategy, and operation management, and marketing analytics. He has spent more than 2 decades in teaching at Chennai, Mumbai, and Bangalore. These are the cities of India. Also, he is closely associated with X Culture, which are the organizations dealing in international projects. He has been keynote speaker in international conferences. At present, he is working as a professor in operations and supply chain management areas at MS Ramaya Institute of Management, Bangalore, India. Dr. Ranjit, the time is yours.
Thank you, sir, for the introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you. Let me just share the. Just give me a minute, I think. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Thank you, AIBPM. It has been a pleasure working with AIBPM and Dr. Liam for such a long time. Again, back to the conference as a keynote speaker. So I was thinking a lot about what I should talk about today, and unfortunately, I did not have any active analytical research to be speaking about. So I thought, why not speak about something which attracts me a lot, which is sports. So I thought, why not look into sports marketing as a area, and look at some of the news clippings and other things which are happening, which will help me to analyze the situation. And based on that, I'm proposing and I'm doing actually a research, a very preliminary research on what attracts people, what are the awareness level of sports events, etc. Interestingly, India is a country which is very famous for loving cricket, and but lately we can see a lot of people who have started looking into tennis, football, and maybe to an extent Olympics also. And that's something which has changed me, maybe because of social media. Though I have not collected too many data, but my data says that it is conventional media also which is helping the information to go through as far as sports is concerned. Anyway, digitization marketing in sports is what I thought of, I'll speak. So what is sports marketing? This is one area which is coming up like anything, because I feel as a person who's residing in a country which is where 60 crore people follow cricket as a sports. This is an area which is focusing on the promotion of sports events and teams and events and different kinds of happenings, and a lot of advertisements now focused on converting a sports fanatic into a product centric person. Though it's still primarily focused on cricket, I think there is a lot of awareness happening in terms of the other sports events also. So that's something which the governments are looking into, something in which popularity of different sports events have to be happening. India is now trying, in fact, Board of Cricket of India as well as International Cricket Council is trying to help cricket to be popularized. We just have the final today of T20, that is 20 over Cricket World Cup, and it happened in US and West Indies, and a lot of people watched. But still, if you see, 90% of the people are in US are not aware of what cricket is. So there's a lot of scope for improving the awareness as far as sports is concerned in the world. So social media is a very, very important thing, and can see that Statista says 70% of Gen Z and millennial fans who are predominantly the audience now prefer to read about sports in social media, which primarily talks about the importance of social media in popularizing the sports. So I think this is the right time for the different kinds of social media, including the YouTube, Insta, Facebook, WhatsApp, everything, to really popularize sports events into such a situation where people take up sports, because that's something which really unites a team. You can see in cricket, people who follow cricket, how cricket united Afghanistan, and how the different people, though they are fighting, united together to watch cricket match. So that's something which is very, very important in the coming scenario, especially in the era of diverse culture. There's a question of war happening in different parts of the world. There is there are different I'll give you one more example. Ukraine participated, though they were out in the first round. Ukraine participated in the World Football, which again emphasized the part that sports is something which is beyond politics, beyond war, which is happening across the world. So Twitter, Facebook, etc. They are the places where people just follow the live scores. They discuss, they talk about it. Even the different apps now are focused on discussing different types of sports events happening, which is very, very encouraging for the future. So some of the strategies which we can talk about, which is happening in real-time scenario, is real-time engagement. That is brands giving different offers, different competitions happening in when the live events are happening for the audience to take part, where they can win prizes. There are a lot of fan-centric content which is happening, especially in cricket. A lot of experiences, especially when Indian Premier League happened, as far as cricket is concerned, in the country, in India. And a lot of campaigns which happened. For example, one of the interesting aspects, which is a fun aspect, was the Max Life Insurance, where Rohit Sharma talked about Shammaji Ka Beta, which is a very humorous kind of advertisements. In fact, a lot of content is happening, connecting audience with movie stars, sports stars, and having a fun and nostalgia kind of thing, which is helping the people to connect. So there's also helping the products to move in the market, and fans are able to connect with the brands also in a better fashion due to this. So that's happening a lot. IPL, again, coming back to that, digital media, so even television for that matter, in fact, it was interesting to note that for different matches even for Indian Premier League, even for football, you can see television. A lot of people are also watching television. So there is connect with the audience in that area. One more important thing is, and I think there's a lot of work to be done in this aspect. How do we measure the metrics, such as how many people are watching it, how many people are actually engaging with the brand, how many people are connecting with the brands as far as the advertisements are concerned. Are the advertisements only for people to be seen? Are people going back and buying that brands after they see the advertisements? So a lot of work, I think, has to be done in terms of measuring the metrics as far as the effectiveness of any campaigns are concerned, especially during sports events. I think that's some area which really has to be addressed to, because how do we attribute a metric success rate to the advertisements which was created during the sports events, either in television or in the social media? So that is something which really has to be looked into. This is what I was saying. Even connected TV, that is your normal television with a dish connection or a cable connection, whatever you call it, that also was watched during IPL. So it's not only the the OTT platforms which are watched, but even the connected television, the normal television, that is television channels, are also watched during the Indian Premier League. And a lot of industries like banking, finance, services, food and beverages, household products, automobiles, they're all were able to get on top of the things, and they were significant increase in the volume of advertisements, and definitely there would be a lot of benefits which these industries would have got it. But I'm not 100% sure about the measurement of metrics, or what metrics can they have used to actually connect with the success rate. So what we are basically talking about is cricket, football, and Olympics. There is a lot of innovations happening in these areas, especially in football clubs. There are a lot of segmenting of social media channels, and in world, especially in football, they have fragmented channels for men's football, women's team, youth academy, and different fan groups are there for each of this. There's a lot of real-time content which is coming out in the social media, like score updates, moments, celebrations, etc., which definitely adds to the excitement among the fans with respect to the sports events. Team heroes, definitely, that's something which is really important nowadays. You talk about Mbappe. In fact, sometime back, remember, we used to talk about a lot of football players, but people like Mbappe from France, or the young team members playing in the English Premier League, or maybe people from Olympics, the swimmers. We were not able to recognize them. Now they're all heroes for us, right? And when they advertise something, when they talk about something, people listen. So fans' causes are also connected to it. As I already told about humor, a lot of advertisements are coming out with saying about humor so as to connect with the audience. And now we know that these social media is helping the organizations to connect with them, and there's a lot of feedback which is generated in terms of how it is going, how it is helping the the brands to be built in the minds of the consumers. So basically, this study is about literacy review, and definitely there are a lot of food for thought for future research in terms of, as I already mentioned, what is the relatability? What is the success rate of social media in helping a brand to grow during a sports event? What is the metrics which can be used to measure it? What is the before that, how much is the awareness level of a sports event in a mind of a consumer? In fact, I'll come to that later. I had a small questionnaire which started off and collected very less amount of data, but what I found out is a lot of people are not aware of where, some of them are not aware of where each of the sports events is happening. And some of them, in fact, I asked a question: which are the two teams which entered into the round of 16 in football event? And in spite of the fact that it is being coming out in the internet, in the social media, people are not aware. There are only two teams which has come, and the awareness level of these two teams, smaller teams, that's one more interesting thing. Slovenia and Georgia, very, very small teams which are come to the next level. That's something which is of interest. So there's a lot of research which can be done on this aspect. Right, very general, very literature study. So these are the strategies which already we talked about, targeting a specific audience. I told about football, being youth-centered, football being women-centered, football being centered around men. Now, the International Cricket Council is trying to focus on different countries as far as cricket is concerned to develop that sports in those areas. We are talking about creating engaging content already. That's very, very important. The content and the timing. So that's something which is very, very important. Now, this is food for thought, especially for a country like India. How do we develop content for different sports events? We are not only focused on cricket. Can we develop some content for football and for tennis so that people will watch more and brands will be helped by that? Building brand partnership and sponsorship is already there. How to develop that into that, and how do you use social media for better leveraging? That's something which is absolutely important. So when you want to target a specific audience, where do we locate? Which country, which part, right? In India, for example, there are states which are which really love football. So can we focus a football event? Can we focus our marketing events specifically for that? Right? What is the age category? So what kind of age category is really looking into each of the sports events? Who is watching it? What kind of people, demographic factors, the interest, level of athleticism? Can we focus something on a particular place so that sports events can be increased there? Athleticism can be increased. Fitness level can be increased. That's something which you can really think about. So if you want to definitely tap into potential customers, you have to create videos focused on those areas, blogging, right? Press releases. I don't know how much that will help, but press releases is something which is very, very focused on specific target segments. And definitely Twitter is something which is happening. More work is required in that. And you need a better automation system, better mechanized system, maybe AI, to create user-specific messages to each audience, each specific person, so that they will be interested in and reading what they really want to read. So that's something which has to be focused on. So you need to think about promotional contests, which is already happening in different sports events, but how do you leverage that? How do we get new customers to focus on that? Develop brand partnerships already happening in a lot of events, but how do we make sure that how do you make sure that that event is connected to the brand? That's something which is very, very important. Then securing sponsorships, that again, a lot of things are happening, especially in cricket, but how do we leverage that into that? So how do we use different kinds of social media like Facebook, to increase awareness? And now we have definitely, all of us know Insta is a very, very important media. How do we generate more awareness into that? And how do we look into Twitter to connect with the Gen Z audience? And maybe all this media, how do we make sure that different media is used to connect with the different kinds of age groups and different kinds of income? So there's one more area which you can look into for better research in that aspect. So finally, when we look into the Olympics, 2024 Paris Olympics is again coming out, and a lot of things are happening. But again, a lot of work has to be done in terms of awareness, especially in countries where Olympics is not a huge event, right? So according to the data shared by IOC, 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo recorded 28 billion video views. Right, this is a jump of 139% increase from the previous one. So this is going to increase again in the 2024 Paris Olympics. But that's 28 billion video views is nothing compared to what exactly is the population in the world. How do we make sure that a lot of people watch these events, read about events, understand how brands can leverage that, how brands can target the audience for specifically for this particular area? How do we make sure that brands are watched and people buy those brands during or after the event. That's something. How do we actually measure the success? So many things have to be looked into, and that's something which definitely future research can be focused on. So as I said, I started with a small primary research, and what I understood is there's less of awareness of Olympics and football, especially my audience is in India, so definitely people are more into cricket, etc. So that's understood. Less number of people watching football, cricket is watched more. One interesting aspect is a lot of people are watching advertisements and they know the brand, they know what kind of advertisements they are watching. Only thing is that people changing the channels is not to that extent compared to maybe some time back. People love to see the brands, but the question is, are they finally using that to those advertisements to buy those brands? And that's something which is a $1 million question. So there's a lot of research to be done in terms of the engagement, in terms of the awareness level. How do we leverage social media to increase the awareness? And even if people are aware and if people watch, how do people actually buy that brand? So how do we measure the metrics of the success? So a lot of areas to be looked into, but a good area to be researched upon. I'm sure some of the people will be interested, and I'm really interested to go ahead with this kind of research. So as ma'am said previously, if anybody is interested to working with me, they are welcome. Thank you for the time, and thank you AIBPM for giving me the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ranjit, for sharing really incredible and something new to our participants, our supporters, cooperation, and the areas where we need to work at country level and at national level. So participants, you are again, advised to share your questions, unmute yourself, ask direct questions if you are having. Any participant? So I find it, totally irony because none of the participants still now have asked any question. So it is your platform, it's your time to, share and dialogue with the keynote speakers. So Dr. Ranjit, let me ask, a small queries regarding, as this concept is totally new, and as you have highlighted rightly that we need to develop some literature in this area so that, communities across the different countries come together via support. So how difficult it is for developing countries? As just if we talk, how difficult it is for developing countries to adopt, support at national and international level, because there involves a lot of infrastructure development to conduct any event. Mostly what we are witnessing since last few decades, most of the international supports events are happening at developed countries. So how you are looking at this challenge, and what are the future preparations for developing countries to come to the supporters and develop such infrastructure?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's starting from the grassroots level, if I can answer. A lot of universities and schools are actually promoting sports in Bengaluru and other cities. As far as India is concerned, we are doing a lot at the grassroots level from college level. But the point here is what event is more liked. As far as cricket is concerned, there's a lot of emphasis there, but a lot of work needs to be done in terms of creating the level of fitness consciousness. The main aspect which comes to the point here is how fitness conscious are the individuals. Leave alone the side of it. If we are fitness conscious, definitely people will be more interested. Interest level increases. There definitely social media plays a very important role. when the interest level increases, definitely more universities and more colleges and the schools will start focusing on that. Naturally, you will get more sports persons coming out of the place. And once that happens, once the government see that there are a lot of interest which is generated and a lot of buzz generated, definitely they will find out ways to generate income for promoting those that sports event. So I think that's where the focus has to be, to create the buzz, to create the fitness consciousness, to create that level of interest. One more aspect is, can I get, that's one more important question, especially if it in a country like India, being a good sportsman, apart maybe from cricket, can I get my living as far as my future is concerned? So that's again one more area which developing countries have to focus. So, but the whole aspect when it comes to my answer to it is that if we generate interest among people and people start looking into sports as an option, definitely more governments and universities will be focused on generating revenue, generating focus, generating avenues for developing sports in the country. And that's same for other countries also. If there is buzz among the crowd, there's a lot of interest generated, and people want to really go into that. Definitely, I think there will be support for that. Of course, the role of governmental organizations, support organizations, sports, coaching centers, all those people are also equally important in developing sports in their respective countries. But, and of course, not to forget, if you look at the case of Afghanistan, sports unites people. So that's something which countries will realize when sports becomes more that it generally reduces the differences between countries. So that's something which you can look into. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of it might take time, but definitely countries will focus. In fact, football itself, you take, I'm talking about India, we have developed compared to some years back, we are much better position, right? So that same thing is applying to other countries also. I'm sure there will be a lot of upliftment. I hope I have answered the question.
Yes, thanks very much. So we are going to take questions from the participants. Till now, there is no question, so I want to continue with one more question. That is, as India is one of the, hub supports of this cricket, and there are a lot of innovations with respect to, uh, the apps which are providing the Play 11 circle, and people are, participating virtually by, having their team. So what are, it is challenges as we in this conference we are, trying to address harmony in diversity, and we are trying to understand people interest, and we have recently discussed value system. So Play 11 circle, like, platforms, they one side encourages and boosts and motivates, the spectators, we can say, or participants in that. So what are its, challenges, and what are its positivities? If you can put some light.
Yeah, I've not gone too much into that as of now, but what I understand is these events or these contests and other aspects have their own challenges in terms of not in terms of creating awareness. I'm sure a lot of people are aware, a lot of people play, but um, the the challenge main here is the privacy. I feel is one major aspect, especially in any kind of games, online games, is the privacy issue. So that's something which really look into. How safe is the system? How can we actually play and succeed and get money? Is it safe? Is my privacy being, taken into consideration. That's something which really is one challenge which is looked into. So connected with that is the awareness level. So for me, maybe I may not go into too much of playing these game, those competitions or contests or whatever connected to the cricket, mainly because I'm not sure how will I benefit from that. So that awareness level, I'm sure, is a lot of things that should be looked into in terms of how it's helping the person to connect, right? Is it good? Is it beneficial for the person who's playing the game? So that's something which is the main challenge. Second, definitely will be my another point is what are the long-term future for these games? Are we looking into these game contests and other things only during the 20 match where everybody is watching, or should we look into making this as a feature which maybe can be extended to other kind of competitions also? So that is something where is the boundary? So that again is another challenge which I feel is looking into. Frankly speaking, since I have not played that kind of thing, I may not be able to in a position to elaborate further on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask our all keynote speakers to open their camera. I want to, final words from all of you before we conclude this session. All the keynote speakers, if you are able to, open your camera quickly, we want to, final remarks about the conference from all of you. Dr. Sana, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
So if you are, ready to share your final remarks about our conference, which is going to start, in a while, for, the session discussions, we would like to take your final remarks about the conference, any motivational insights. So I think
So-
Dr. Sana is, yes, please. Are you able
Yes.
to open your camera?
Sir, not right now. I'm in
Okay, we
middle
will
of something.
Okay, please share like.
So, as the theme is harmony and diversity, navigating multidimensional realities in management, education, IT, and social sciences. As I selected the topic on circular economy and the future prospects of the same. So, I'm expecting that maybe the students, all the students, as are aware about uh, the ongoing environmental crisis, and may I just hope all the business students come up with the business ideas related to net zero economy or circular economy and sustainable development, integration of sustainable development goals with the business strategy. I'm looking forward to such innovative papers uh, from this conference. So I just hope we get a lot of ideas from the budding researchers. That's all.
Thank you very much. Now it is, turn for Dr. Wajiha.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Firdaus. It was a wonderful opportunity to share the ideas, and also, as Dr. Sana said, that the theme of the conference was to share the diversity in the field in an inclusive manner. So yes, financial well-being is also very important for the students to study in order to attain the sustainable development goals, because after all, it's about well-being of the people. Either you talk about reducing poverty, quality of education, gender empowerment, or climate change, or other social impacts. So all they affect one way or the other well-being. And another speaker also talked about employee well-being. So yes, these are the very important areas that students need to see, because as the database is growing, there are more indicators available in order to measure all these things in a very although they are unobserved, but they can be measured in a very objective way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now it is turn for Amna Javed. Dr. Amna Javed.
Thank you, Dr. Firdaus, for providing this such a wonderful opportunity. Actually, I'm really happy because this is first time for me to participate in a totally online conference. So the topic is very interesting, as the previous keynote speakers mentioned, because it covers many things. So all the, because it's about multidimensional realities. So realities can be from any sector. So I think the topic is very good for this conference, and we can accept multiple ideas from different students and different colleagues. And the wonderful part of this conference was too many keynote speakers and many interesting research works I found. So I think that's all from my side. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you. Let's move to Professor Ranjit. I think Dr. Tena is not there. Professor Ranjit, you can share your final remark.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Firdaus. See, if you look at my topic of sports, you see that this kind of diverse events happening in diverse population, that itself is talking about how different the whole thing is. But at the same time, as I mentioned, sports is uniting people, in terms of the focus. So now it's the time for marketing these events in such a way that the awareness level and the usage level increases to such an extent that sports helps people across the countries to be united for a common cause. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to close the inaugural session. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who made this event success. First and foremost, our distinguished speakers. They shared, lot of insights, expertise, and thought-provoking presentation. Starting from environmental sustainability, then value system, then we have, also discussed about gender empowerment. Then we have, followed up with Professor Ranjit's presentation, supports and harmony. Have truly, enriched our understanding of harmony in diversity, navigating multidimensional realities in management. It was focused on the subjects of IT, social science, and management. On behalf of AIBPM organization, your willingness to share your knowledge and experiences have been invaluable. We are deeply grateful for your contribution, dear speaker. I would also like to thank to our organizations, AIBPM, for their tireless efforts in planning and executing this great conference. As always, they are doing. Your dedication, meticulous planning, and hard working behind the scenes have ensured everything ran smoothly and effectively. It is your commitment that has made this event possible. To our sponsors and partners, thank you for your generous support and collaboration. Your contributions have been crucial in bringing this conference to life. As a special thank you to all the volunteers and support staff who have worked tirelessly to ensure every detail was taken care for making the experiences seamless for all of us. Let us, last but not least, thank you all the attendees and active participation, which I have done myself mostly. Enthusiasm and engagement have been the driving force for this conference. We hope you found the upcoming sessions inspiring and valuable. Let us take the knowledge and connections we have gained here to continue to apply them in our respective field. As Professor Amna has highlighted, people and speakers, they are highly appreciated to have collaborations to explore their research areas with the young minds. So it is the opportunity for young minds and participants to come forward. I request them to ask questions in the session because it is their day, it is their platform, and all these arrangements done by AIBPM is, to find the diversity and to create a global connectivity among the participants. Therefore, you should expose and explore this opportunity from sitting at homes, at colleges and different universities across different corners of the world. So with these words, I am thanking again the AIBPM, all speakers for your time and for organizing such an event. Over to you, Miss Alia.
Thank you very much, Dr. Firdaus, and our keynote speakers for such insightful discussions that we had today. Well, this informal, I'm sure that we've been having a great day since the seminar and discussions were resourceful and well constructed. Thank you to the keynote speakers for the informative and interesting talks. In a moment, we'll run on the next agenda of the parallel sessions. These sessions will start at 12 p.m. Jakarta time. Once again, I'd like to remind all presenters to format the Zoom name based on the presentation tools and room. All presenters can go to certain Zoom room based on the presentation schedule. You can join the room by clicking the join button and you automatically join the presentation room. And after the presentations, all presenters are urged to return to the main room on the closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.